Hello. I was like, hello, hello. Let's see. I don't know. Want to do Instagram live too, but my battery's low because I've been doing a lot of other shit stuff. Been doing stuff, man. That's what I've been doing. Does it go this way? Whoa. So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me. Oops. Who am I? I'm Mary June Tracy. I've been working in this field for over 30 years. And I'm a spiritual alchemist. This is kind of cricket, but hey, here I am. I'm getting this set up. So there we go. I'm a spiritual alchemist doing what I do, bringing people to a place of landing when there is chaos in their life. There we go. 2, 3. Here we go. And I'm live. Got a lot to cover today. So welcome everybody for joining. And if you are interested in working with me, definitely DM me, let me know. Information's all link in the bio, all over the place. And if you are one, I got a few things going on. I have a full moon walk that's coming up here in Calgary. And the full moon walk is going to be in Bridgeland, in the area of Bridgeland. So if you are interested in doing this full moon walk with me, that will be on the 31st of May. So we're going to be doing this full moon walk. And we're also doing, what else? We have a workshop that's coming up on June 13th. Woo! Right before the new moon. Yeah. So we have that's going on, and that's creating your own lunar scrapbook that you will be able to use month to month. I'm going to show you how to put things in there, utilize Canva, and it's totally a free app. You can use it or you can upgrade. It's all up to you. I'm not getting paid by Canva to do this. It's just something that I use on a regular basis and want to share out with all of you in doing this. So yeah, so that's what I do. The other thing what else is coming up? I am going to be in Vermilion for the Shine. I think, what did she call it? Folk something. Anyways, for her Shine thing. She's gonna kill me, Vicky. Totally. But it's June 5th and 6th. It's in Vermilion. It's 2 days. I'll be doing readings there. Readings are going to be $60 for 20 minutes if you're wanting to. And all the psychics are the same price. So that's the thing. Everybody's the same price. So I'll be doing that. Just an FY. Usually, not to toot my own horn, but usually I do book up when I am there. So if you are wanting to get a reading with me, definitely get there to sign up, because my Modern Folk Gathering. There you go. Modern Folk Gathering. That's what it's called. Thank you, Charlene. So this is a few things that I'm doing. A lot is, man, if you think life is going to be staying the same, sorry, you're wrong. Even this week is so crazy energetically. And when I say crazy, I mean, like, we are past explosive when it comes to energy. And in looking at all what has been transpiring over the little bit while, this is, we're in the last days of Taurus instability. And with this last full day of Taurus, the sun in Taurus, and I want to say this clearly, this is the end of the old kind of stability. Not stability forever, not grounding forever, but the old version. And it's like, if you have liked things done a certain way, how Taurus is, and you want this all to be done in a certain type of feel, well, it's not there anymore. It's going to be gone. And I would like some of the things to stay the same. I love the beautiful, some of the energies. But yeah, it's not going to be there. And this is not the era where We worship the old bones of the old world that is already changing. This is an upgrade time. This is when we are going and we are upgrading, and Gemini is coming in. The sun moves into Gemini tomorrow, and by the end of the week, we are moving into the first real blast of the sun conjunct Uranus in Gemini. This is huge. This is huge. This hasn't happened since the 40s. So it's just like back then, they weren't thinking about going to war. They weren't thinking that anything is going to change in their life. Everything is going, going to be going the same way it's always been, but it's not. Things are changing. The sun moves into Gemini tomorrow, and by the end of the week, things are going to get crazy. This is not slow energy. This is not predictable. This is not, I'll keep doing what I've been doing, and hope life cooperates. Not it. No, darling. That's just not the way it is. This cosmic software update, this is where some people are trying to run 2026 astrology on a 1998 operating system, and it does not work. No, it doesn't work. And Uranus in Gemini trine with Pluto in Aquarius, and with Neptune and Saturn in Aquarius, we're dealing with normal astrology. We're not dealing with normal astrology. Who's it? Candace Owens is having and it's all over the internet about her having, and it's blowing up on with Biden's son. And he's going to talk about the deep state and how the deep state works. And he's on there with Candace Owen. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Upgrades are good. Yeah, they are good. Upgrades are definitely good, but it's not going to be the way people are thinking it. It's not the old way of manifesting. We're not dealing with the normal astrology anymore. This is not like a mood shift. This is a whole new human operating system. And Gemini rules information. And the thing is that, so when people say, oh, I don't watch the news, it's too negative. I get it. You've got to protect your nervous system. But the news is the north, east, south, and west. You got to be informed. We are in an energy that if you're not informed, if you're not keeping yourself informed on what is happening in the world and understanding what is happening in the world and taking that step on educating yourself, you're going to be hit by the sidelines. A lot of people don't understand all of the geopoliticals, and all of the things, like even the meeting with Trump going to China and what they think it was about. It's about a lot more than what. Yeah, there's deals, but there's a lot more that's going on there. It is the illusion of the illusion, and you have to go back to when Nixon went to meet the Chinese and what that represented, and what he did the year before and what that represented, and why Trump going to China has a representation of going back to that time, because going back to that illusion of what was being put up, the illusion of illusions, because when the illusion breaks, when things break down, everything crumbles. And so that's why without information, you're walking around with no map, no compass, no contents, and then wondering why the world feels confusing. Freedom requires information. If you want freedom, you have to be informed. You can't go around like a little ostrich and put your head in the sand anymore. That's not the way the world works. You can't go around singing kumbaya. You can't go around and wondering, why isn't anything working for me anymore? It's not the same way. The way you communicate, the way that we connect with one another is totally changing. And as it changes, everything else in the world is changing as well. It can be very frustrating for a lot of people and very overwhelming for a lot of people with all of this. And the ability to share information and compare information, question information, and move information quickly is a part of what keeps us awake. When information shuts down, people go into the dark. This is not astrology for being in the dark. This is astrology for being a highway. And that's what astrology is. That's what I do. I take you when I do my mentorships, when I do my readings. This is about a spiritual awakening. It's not so much a psychic reading. It's beyond a psychic reading. What I do is do an outlook of taking what is going on in your life and helping you to deal, to take a look, to be informed. If you're not informed with what's going on in your life, yeah, it's gonna cause a lot of damage. And the thing is that here's the trickster piece. Whatever you think the answer is, it probably isn't. You think it's going to go this way, probably won't. You think it's like, oh, I need an oil change, and it's something else. It's the timing, right? It's what you are not thinking about. You're thinking, this is where this energy is coming in. It is Gemini. This is Uranus. It is things are going to change quickly. How many people said to me, like, oh, well, they're not going to do that to cars, right? They're not going to do that to cars. And by 2027, every car is going to have a chip in there that is going to be able to run by AI, that is going to say, oh, you're drunk, or you are unable, you're not stable enough to drive. And you're going to find, and it's come out by Automoto. It was leaked yesterday that a notice was coming around of how they are to deal with motor oil and the shortage of motor oil that is going to be happening. So you're going to think that I'm going to have motor oil for my vehicle. Nah, you're not. You think you're going to have parts for your vehicle? Nah, you're not. These are the things. This is the reality. This is the changes that are coming in, and that's why it's so important for people to be on the up and up and to know. So if you have a vehicle, I would say make sure you have a backup of motor oil, because you're going to find that it's going to be coming very costly, or you're not going to be able to find it. So, and motor oil doesn't go bad. It's not like don't keep gasoline. Please fucking don't keep a barrel like people. I'm going to go get a plastic bag of gasoline and keep it in my garage. Well, that's a good way to burn down your whole fucking neighborhood. But motor oil, definitely, right? Because you're going to see that there's not going to be any. It's not going to, whatever. Like, this is where that's how Uranus and Gemini works. It is like you think the problem is to be a flat tire, but it's the oil change, the oil light. You think it's the issue is gas, but it's motor oil. Or you think it's the disruption is over there, and it comes from a weird little detail you never considered. It comes through the side door. And that's where it's coming through. And the email didn't open, the conversation you dismissed, the technology you refuse to learn. How many people are refusing to learn about AI, learning how to use new technology? Don't want to learn that. Don't want to do that. How many people are reliant and thinking that the government's going to be there and you're going to get your CPP or your OAS? Nah, not for a lot of people. It's not going to be there. And that's the thing. It's like people, if you got to understand this. This is where this energy is coming in this week, because this is not a visualize the exact thing. It appears exactly that way. It is not those old manifestors and people who manifest and think it's going to be this way. You just focus on this and this is how it comes. That's not it. This is to know your value, know your feelings, know the essence, then get out of the way. Right? Don't try and control every single move, because it'll just blow up in your face. The universe has a bigger imagination than you do. And Mars has just moved into Taurus, and Mars is not happy there. Mars is like, fuck off, everybody. Mars in Taurus wants to grip, it wants to hold, it wants to say, this is mine, this is how it should look, this is what I deserve, this is how I will manifest. But Mars is getting ready to square Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto is looking at Mars and saying, "Oh, you think that's a plan? You're just so cute. You think you're just so cute. You're just so cutie." Venus is in Cancer, the moon is in Cancer, and Jupiter is in Cancer. So emotionally, people are romancing the feelings, the home, the love, the money, the safety, the life, the dream. But Venus is also getting pulled into Neptune energy, and Mars is under pressure from Pluto. So the question, are you actually, are you actually soul feeling? Are you attached to the actual soul feeling? Or are you attached to the package? Because the package is where people are going to lose their minds. I thought love would look like this. I thought the money would come in this way. I thought my business will grow like this. I thought the person would show up like this. I thought my future would feel safe before I moved. No. Those people who are thinking that, oh, you know what? AI is not going to take my job. No, they cannot duplicate what I do. Really? Really? Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna say no. This is a time of stepping into that creativity, and I'm gonna bring in an example. What just happened this last weekend with Swatch and the new watch that um, they brought out. They had AI imagery everywhere, and nobody could tell the difference. And it had people lined up, and it had where people were lined up for like 3 days for this thing. They had to pay people so they could go pee and do everything else that they had to do. And then all of a sudden, Swatch said, "Nope, I'm sorry, we're closing our doors, we're not doing this." In many of the major cities around this is around the world, and all it was a pocket watch that they're gonna do again, so if you missed out, you're still able to get in on it. But people thought it was like, "Oh, I could get this, I'm gonna spend the money, and then I'm gonna sell it for $3,000." And that's what you saw some people starting to do it until Swatch said, "Well, we're gonna, we're coming out with more." That's the energy. You think this is the way it should be from the 80s. Oh, that's cool. But you think this you might be able to make money off of it. You think it's going to be a certain way, and it won't be. That's what I'm trying to say. You think that, "Oh, I'm always going to have this in my life." And poof, you don't. Trust me. Trust me. I'm a person who deals with this quite often, you know? And this is where you think that, "Oh, it's to be this way or that way," right? And it's not. It's even like Disney. Disney's a fine example because the last show Disney had was a dragon movie. and and the whole thing about this dragon movie before Disney went into to working with the US government and the propaganda to bring people into the army and into the military. And I mean that's why Donald Duck's a sailor. And that's the whole thing is like you think this is the way we are going to be doing and utilizing our world, but it won't be. And that's what I want people to get around. It's a concept where, um, the cars you drive, the bike you use, everything that you are, aligned with is not going to be there. It's going to change. The way that people feel like it was at Walmart. Walmart's getting away, rid of all well, so it was announced that, 1, Walmart is are spending less. This is Walmart. So Walmart is coming out and saying that just by their own figures. So they're letting people know that. The other part too with Walmart is that they're getting away through uh self checkout, and they're going to be getting rid of self checkouts. So you're going to start seeing less and less of self checkouts. But the thing is, you're going to see less and less clerks cashiers because they're switching the cashiers out. So that means that you're going to have some kind of AI form that's going to be there. That doesn't mean that they're going to be hiring more clerks to be in their stores. They're going to be utilizing either some form of a robot or something like that that will catch things or know your motions of if you're trying to scam them or what have you. It's going to be able to pick up on all your little synchronicities of how you move. So which I find very interesting. So I mean, the things are changing. The new world does not arrive through an old checklist. This is Alice in Wonderland astrology. Eat the crumpet, get bigger. Eat the crumpet, get smaller. Go through the door you didn't even know was a door. Right? That is not a rational Taurus comfort. The Gemini upgrade. That means you cannot keep saying, I don't know technology. I don't like computers. I don't want to learn the new thing. I'm sorry, babe. You got to learn it. You got to know it. This is upgrade the phone, upgrade the app, upgrade the business, upgrade the way you communicate, upgrade how fast you gather information, upgrade how willing you are to change your mind. And because Uranus and Gemini is going to reward the people who are adaptable and not the people who are rigid, not the people who keep saying, but this is how I do it. The old, beautiful mahogany table, but the whole house is being rewired. You cannot sit there polishing the furniture while the lights are flickering. And this is where history teaches us. Uranus and Gemini during World War II, the things people thought were impossible became reality. Airborne invasions, radar, propaganda through media, reshaping the transportation, reshaping communication, reshaping of power. Unsinkable things sank. The system people thought would honor forever did not. The leaders people underestimated became central. Nobody thought that Winston Churchill would be prime minister. He was the last one on their list to be prime minister of England. In fact, he was on the list of do not have Churchill, right? He wasn't the one that they wanted, but he's the one who showed up. He's the one who got them through, right? And he was an oddball kid. He was an oddball one. So he wasn't the one that people were going to put their money on, right? So who you think and who you're thinking this is going to be the power, this is the way it's going to go. It's going to switch around. Why Trump went to China and what you think Trump went for China is probably not the reasons why he went to China. You know? Bringing all those top CEOs? Yeah. But look at how many of them had to do with money and banking. It is interesting when you look at it. And Nvidia, the CEO for Nvidia did not get on the plane until they refueled in Alaska. And he got on. He was the last edition. Because it's the thing is that the reason why they don't like Trump or the reason why they don't like the way he works is because he's unpredictable. He's a businessman. Things will change. Things aren't going to work the way that you always want them to work. They will change where it's like, no, oh, yeah. I'm talking to you. Yep. All right. That's like a good deal. Boom, switch. I'm over here. I'm not doing that anymore. That didn't work out. And it doesn't have to do with, well, that wasn't good. That wasn't, you got to be nice to everybody. That's out the door. We're dealing with air. We're dealing with air and fire. There's emotions don't come in like that. That's out the door. So it's the way people deal with things and the practicality and how people deal with things. Right? And that can be very frustrating because that's not that's we got to do it this way because that's the way we did it. We brought all these people in. No, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. We're not bringing them in. That's not the way we're doing it. That's why my business is changing. It's not so much like, oh, Mary's a psychic medium. No, I'm more than a psychic medium. I'm a counselor. I'm a coach. I'm a spiritual advisor. I bring you out of the chaos and bring you into where you can handle the chaos that is going on in your world. And I do it in ways that sometimes people don't like, honestly, because I do it in a way that says, no, this is like, put your big girl and big boy panties on and let's get going and let's get doing on this. And I get it. It's hard because I have to do the same thing in my life and coming to some of those realizations. And it's overwhelming. And yeah, there's a lot of emotions that are going to be rising up with all of this, through all the chaos and the things. But there's also a responsibility that's going to come in with all of this as well, and how you're going to do it. People who thought they had it all figured out are going to be blindsided. That's Uranus and Gemini. That's where the 300,000 people who wrote on, they said, I'm bringing this in and we're going to separate from Alberta and blah, blah, blah. Bang. Some judge from New Brunswick says, sorry, void. You know, crazy shit like that is going to come up. Right now they're serving the Prime Minister of Canada with a 4 billion or $4 trillion lawsuit with how he's taking land. Interesting how that's going to turn out. So today, this is where it's like with Uranus and Gemini, it humiliates certainty and it liberates intelligence. It forces humility. So today the sun finishes off in Taurus and asks you, what am I still gripping because it feels safe? And what belief am I calling a value? Right? What belief am I calling a value? And what outdated system am I pretending is stability? What I'm refusing to learn because I'm comfortable. Yeah. One thing I can say within my own life, my life has never been really comfortable. My life has never been totally secure. And so I get it when people get to insecurity. Some of the things I've had to deal with today have been really fucking shitty. Like fucking shitty. You know? Things I didn't even expect or I didn't even know. And it's on my plate. And I'm just like, okay. But the thing is that I got to ground myself in the present in order to deal with things. Right? And deal with that. And it's just like, okay, does it upset me? Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. You know? Does it overwhelm me? Yeah, totally. Overwhelmed. But I can't let it freeze me. I gotta continue on. There's things that a lot of it I can't do anything about it right now. There's not a thing I can do about it, but I can learn to change in different ways and react in different ways, you know? And that's the big one. And that's where it comes down. It's like I got to be present in the moment in a neutral way without emotion. Telling that to a water sign. No emotions. The emotions are there. That's not to bypass or spiritually bypass the emotions, but it's also to understand that I got to come through this with a logical way and in a logical way. So, if you want, the thing is that because once we move into Gemini, the pace changes, the mind changes, and the collective conversation changes. And people who make it through the next 7-year cycle with grace are not the ones who knew or who know everything. They are the ones that are willing to say, "I don't know it yet, but I'm willing to find out." And that's true. I don't know it yet. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this, but I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to take one step in front of the other. I'm gonna do it bit by bit and figure this shit out and move forward. And the magic sentence is not, "I know exactly how this will happen," not, "I manifest it this way," not, "This is the only path." No, that's not it. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to find out. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to find out. I don't know all the answers yet. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm gonna trust. I gotta put that out there. The Gemini wisdom, the Mercury wisdom. It's the doorway. The Mercury goes. The thing is with Mercury, Mercury moves from the underworld to the other world. It is movable. It's mercurial. And that's what it's asking us to do, is to be mercurial. And the astrology becomes essential in a time like this because astrology helps us to navigate the unpredictable. And that's what a lot of people don't like. It's like, oh, astrology is just, no, it helps you to navigate. It's showing you, I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't make us control freaks. It makes us a better sailor. It helps us to, the storm is still the storm, but at least we can read the sky. And so today, on this last day of Taurus, take inventory. What do you value? Your values matter. Your body matters. Your resources matter. Your nervous system matters. But the old form may not be in the new vehicle. Your value may stay, but the container has to change. Your dream may stay, but the route has to change. How you do things, how you connect with people, that's going to change. Your desire may stay, but the universe may deliver it in a way your old self would never have chosen. And that is the point. This is not, it's not a punishment, it's a liberation. This it's letting go of the old mahogany to go if it has become a shrine to the past. So you got to keep the beauty, keep the wisdom, and keep the craftsmanship, but don't worship the old structure. And upgrade the bones of your life, upgrade your mind. It's like when I watch a lot of the chateaus, like the Chateau Diaries, or any of the manor houses, right? So you watch a lot of these. I watch a lot of this, but the thing is that they've had to change for the times. They couldn't keep the old heating system, or they had to upgrade different parts of the house, new furniture, new wall fixtures, electricity, plumbing, the whole bit all has to be continually upgraded, right? Can't keep it like the medievals, right? You need light, right? How are you going to get the electricity through? How are you going to get the plumbing through? These are important features, right? So this is like looking into your old life, into your new life is like, what do I need to upgrade? What are the things do I need to start changing and creating in this new way? And what I valued, I might have valued that old cooker, but that old cooker is not working anymore, right? I need to upgrade it, this vehicle is not doing what it needs to do for me, or it's costing me too much money. And I need to redo my finances in some way. So I need to reevaluate in how I do it. This is like, you think you're gonna make it this way, and it comes in a totally different way of how you think it should be working. Or you find that, and here's the big one that people are gonna find, is that you think your Visa bill or your Visa line of credit is going to stay the same. You're gonna find that your Visa line of credit probably isn't gonna stay the same. They're probably gonna decrease it. Or your line of credit that you have on your house, all of a sudden they say, "No, I'm sorry, we're taking 10 grand off." Well, I was gonna do too bad. because all of this is changing. How we do our finances, how we do our connections is all changing. And that's going to throw a lot of people off. Well, I thought I could always rely on this from the government. And they're like, sorry, it's gone. We don't have it. It's a new way of looking at things, and it can be, and it's frustrating, and it's overwhelming, and it's emotional. But we got to look at it and say, okay, which way do I need to go? I got to hand it over. I got to bring it over. I got to bring it over to the divine. Because the thing is that you can't worship the old structure. The upgrades in the bones of your life, upgrade your mind, upgrade your relationships with information, upgrade your willingness to be surprised, because the new world is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's already loading. And by the end of this week, we are officially in a new program. So if you're thinking this is the way it's going to go, or this is how we're going to do it, or no, Canada will never be in a war, or Canada will be in a war, or we'll never do that. Canada would never do that. This is the way. Oh, we're splitting. This is happening. Don't underestimate, because expect the unexpected. That's where we're at right now. We're in a whole new timeline. We're in a whole new world. The way you think this world is going to be is not going to be the way it's going to be. The way you think this is going to turn out, or you're always going to get your Fruit Loops down the cereal aisle. You may not be able to get your Fruit Loops anymore. Something new is going to come in, or it's not going to be there anymore. So this is where you start looking. I gotta look at my lipstick. This is where you got to start looking at, okay, I always get oil at the gas station. My 7-Eleven is always going to be at the corner. Do you know that all 7-Elevens are closing except for ones that are in with gas stations across Canada? So you think that that local 7-Eleven that you had there, all of a sudden it's not there anymore? It's like, well, I've always gone there. It's been there since the 70s. It's been there since forever. It's not there anymore. Right? You think that grocery store, oh, that grocery store has always been there. Oh, sorry, we don't have it there. Or that bank. Sorry, we closed it down. You got to go to this bank over here. This is some of the things that are going to be coming in, and even right down to, it's like, well, I do my payments every month. Why are they changing my payments on my vehicle, or why is this happening? Why are they shortening my loan? This is where, if you've been, I'm gonna list, like, if you're a person who's been overspending a lot, or using your house um as a bank or a line of credit, a lot of these people are going to have a hard reality check coming in with things. Um, because they're going to find that all of a sudden, all of that money that they've been borrowing is like, oh no, you got to pay this by X date, right? So I would advise people, if you're able to get yourself the fuck out of debt, get yourself out of debt. That would be one of the big things, especially with this energy coming up. Finding new ways of spending your money, or doing your savings and paying down your debt will be the number one thing. Not going out to get the new brand new shiny thing, right? Because, oh, but I need this. That's the other part too. So you're going to find a lot of people selling stuff. A lot of, I mean, oh my gosh, how many repos of houses in the States? It's just gone up. They're not announcing it, but it's huge. Same here in Canada. Um, where it's just crazy. Some of the changes that are coming in, and how people are going to have to learn how to do things in a new way. Yeah, I know. I know. But anyways, there you go. It's going to be a crazy week. I'm going to send you out so much love. If you want to listen on my YouTube, my Sunday reset I did on Sunday, it's up there. And if you want to go take a look to help yourself, there's a meditation and a prayer that's on there that you can listen to it many times and just sort of help to ground yourself, to focus into this new energy that's coming forward. And have a great day. And if you're wanting to come with me on my full moon walk, woohoo, it's $25 if you're in the Calgary area. If you are wanting to join me for the June 13th for my workshop, definitely get a hold of me. You got to let me know what your payment plans are, or you tell me yes, but I got to know how you're going to pay for it. That's the new thing, is that people say yes, but you can say yes, or you can say, oh, but I thought you knew. No, I don't know until you tell me. So, and I also have to know how you're going to be paying for things. That's just the way of the world, right? Gotta be up on the up. So, anyways, have a blessed one, everybody. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless you in every way. God bless. Talk to you later.